Hey, welcome. My name is Josette.alvarez. I'm a realtor with Compass Realty, and I'm here with my special guest, Tim Yates, the founder of the 10 Group, who does business as legal docs for less. Tim specializes in estate planning and is here to educate you on setting up a revocable living trust. Tim, welcome.
Josette, it's a pleasure to be here.
So, Tim, I wrote down a series of questions. I hope you don't mind. This short video really aims to give my clients the information they need to make an informed decision on how to protect their homes, their family, and their assets. To do this, is it okay if I ask you some common questions that get asked when estate planning?
Fire away.
All right. Okay, first question, Tim, tell us about your business, Legal Docs for Less.
Absolutely. Well, first, I'm not here to give any legal or tax advice. I'm not an estate planning attorney, but a registered and bonded LDA, and I specialize in creating estate plans. And I've done that for thousands of wonderful people over the years, and it's something I absolutely love to do. I'm also surrounded by a wonderful team of attorneys, including my wife Carrie, who has been a successful attorney for over 20 years. And really, in a nutshell, our firm is just about delivering top quality estate planning services, really at affordable pricing.
So you mentioned that without a high price tag. So do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, one of the reasons I know you and I've talked about numbers before, and when we look at the state of California, for example, around 12.7% of all homeowners have their homes in a trust, which is an extremely low number. One of the reasons why I think that's behind that is traditionally the cost to get an estate plan has been very expensive. And so a lot of times people will inquire about getting an estate plan, they'll talk to a professional, they'll get that price quote, and then they'll say, ooh, hold I'm then they'll justify I'm still healthy, I'm relatively young, I'll eventually get it, just not right now is not the right time. So I really wanted to take that out of the equation. I wanted to take price out of the equation. So as opposed to spending a few $1,000s for an estate plan, we wanted to keep it affordable for people where maybe they only have to spend a few $100s versus a few $1,000s.
Yeah, you're making it accessible for a lot more people. I think that's great. So, Tim, what are some of the costs in getting an estate plan put together?
Well, it's there's a combination of time, which is money, and then overall cost in itself. On average here in the state of California, the average cost for an estate plan is about $2,500 and up. You
Wow.
know, and so, yeah, it can get really expensive. At the same time, it's also about the how long it takes to get it done too. So we've developed some really cool systems that have streamlined the process, making it really simple for people to get it done, as well as making it very affordable for them.
Yeah, 2,500 seems pretty pricey. So that being said, what do you usually charge?
Well, for us, our goal is to always keep it under $1,000. So we want to again, yeah, honestly, make it where it's just becomes a no-brainer. I don't ever want anybody to say, Tim, I know I need this for my family and I just can't afford it right now. So we just really, really wanted to say, let's get rid of that. Let's just make sure we take care of people, and that's really what it's all about.
I love it. And what would be included in the estate plan?
Yeah, so basically, and what we're going to talk about is a revocable living trust. Within a revocable living trust, it includes your living trust, your pour over will, your healthcare directives, power of attorney, your HIPAA waiver documents. If you have children under the age of 18, the guardianship component of it, the certification of trust, and then if they own real estate, we're going to make sure that we transfer that real estate into their trust via quitclaim deed.
So you mentioned irrevocable living trust and revocable living trust. What are the differences between those two?
Yeah, so really what it is it's I'll keep it really simple. Irrevocable living trust, really what it means, and it's mostly designed, it's not totally specific, but it's more designed for people that are extremely wealthy, high net worth individuals. But in essence, an irrevocable living trust is you're giving up control of your assets to a third party. You're not able to make changes to it in a simple format, et cetera. So a revocable living trust, honestly, is what 99.9% of all of us need. And really, what that just means, Josette, is you get to maintain control and ownership over all of your assets. And you can also make changes and adjustments to your plan while you're still alive.
And what would an example be like making a change to the trust?
Yeah, great. Well, you being a wonderful real estate professional, as you know, when people buy or sell real estate, that is they want to you got to make sure that's reflective in their documents. Um, Relationship changes is another common one. You know, you go from single to married, married to single. Children under the age of 18 now they're adults. You know, things like that. So it really kind of runs the gamut. But yeah, those are just an example of some of the most common changes that we see.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've established who you are, the cost to get an estate plan put together, and the different types of estate plans. So the big question here is, why would my client need one? Why would somebody need one?
So really the top reasons are this. Number one is to avoid probate. You know, so that's number one, to avoid probate. Number two, to protect, you know, really their loved ones, their beneficiaries. And number three, to protect their assets, the things that they worked so hard for. So those are really the main reasons why, you know, they want to get an estate plan.
And you mentioned probate, and I don't think everybody's familiar with that term. Can you explain what probate is?
Yeah, probate is something you absolutely want to avoid. I've unfortunately seen it firsthand, and it is something that is very difficult for families to go through. So, what probate is it's the court-ordered and supervised process of identifying and gathering the assets of a deceased person, and then paying out their debts, taxes, and liabilities, and then whatever crumbs are left over, handing that over to the family. And the problem is that it takes it could take cost tens of thousands of dollars of the overall estate, and it could take, you know, months or even years to go through the court process. So you have to hire an attorney. You got to go to court through the court process. So again, it's something that you just never want to leave your family with. It's such a mess, and and the good news though is that it's completely avoidable.
To avoid probate, you set up a trust.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good to know. Just a couple more questions, if you don't mind. A client says they're protected because they have a will. Is a will same as having a trust?
No, and that's one of the things that I really want people to understand. I've seen it time and time again where I've had people say, "Oh, my mom and my dad and my grandparents, they have a will, so we're fine." And you know, remember, estate planning is state specific. So maybe a will is all they need if they lived in Wisconsin, for example. But here in California, you need both. So when people say, "Tim, do I need a trust or do I need a will?" The answer is you need both. And that's why it's important to understand that a will not protect your assets from probate, only a trust does.
Only a trust does. Okay. And you mentioned California. So if my clients have an estate plan that was created, let's say like in Arizona, but now they live here in California, would that still work for them?
You know, ideally, they really should get a plan. Anybody, as you become a resident of a specific state, if you're living there, you really should get an estate plan for that specific state, especially if you own real estate. And you're kind of this is your new home now. You should really get an estate plan that's based on that state that you're of your residence.
Makes sense. Okay, Tim, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. Why should my clients work with you to get their estate plans done?
Great question. You know what I love about today's world now? People have options. It wasn't that long ago where you had one option. You had to go to that attorney's office down the street and spend whatever they wanted to charge you. And then with the, you know, the birth of the internet, now you have ways to do it yourself. You can go online and order your own documents and do it yourself, which is an option for people. The issue that I see though is it's still expensive when you go to that attorney's office with the fancy columns and all that because they have to cover the overhead for all that. So they're going to pass costs on and make it more expensive for everybody. But then the internet side of it is you may get some documents to fill out, but what if you fill out the wrong forms, you check the wrong boxes, you know, all those kind of things. So what we've tried to do is what we have done is create the best of both worlds. So we offer the affordability aspect of the do-it-yourself website, but with full support. And so that's really why that we are very passionate about what we do. And not only that, too, we're still a small family-run firm. You know, my goal is to have both of my daughters, you know, when they go to law school, that they're going to take over the family business one day. You know, so I want to keep this business in the family, hopefully for generations to go. So that's really why. And again, we're going to do a great job for people. We're going to take care of them as our own family and make sure that they get what they need at incredible pricing.
I love that so much. And I really appreciate you making it affordable for everybody because it's so incredibly important. And just side note, this last year, I dealt with a few clients passing away that did not get around to setting up their trust, and it's kind of been sad to watch it unfold, having the families go through probate. And so I can't stress how important this is. And, my family, we have one set up ourselves. And so you summed it up perfectly. And this is why I would encourage all my family, friends, clients, neighbors to work with you. And I appreciate everything that you do, Tim. This has been wonderful. And I will encourage anyone who has viewed our video to contact me so I can put them in touch with you directly. You have a fantastic team, and I've been very blessed to have been able to refer clients to you and have them work with you. And they've said nothing but great things. So I look forward to keeping that going.
I can't thank you enough, Josette. It's truly an honor and a blessing, and thank you for your time.
Thanks, Tim. Take care.